Welcome back to Awesome Planet. Now, earlier, we saw Earth from the vantage point of an airplane. Now, seeing Earth from outer space is a completely different experience, which only a few hundred astronauts can claim. It's said that seeing Earth suspended in outer space is one of the most awe-inspiring views a person can have. Ever since 1961, when man was first put into space, astronauts and cosmonauts have enjoyed the unique opportunity to view our planet from afar. Author Frank White wrote a book that examined how their time in space altered their perspective. It's called The Overview Effect.
Well, the overview effect is defined as a shift in worldview that occurs with astronauts or cosmonauts as they see the Earth from space and in space. And it results in a change in how they see themselves, how they see the universe, how they see the Earth, and how they see the future of humanity.
Most of us can only imagine what it's like to go up in space.
That magical moment when the engines, all of a sudden everything goes quiet, and I felt myself sort of floating up in my seat and released the seat belt and floated out of my seat over to the window and looked out, and there's the Earth with the curvature and just the very thin little blue line of the atmosphere. I think the first sensation I had, which has stayed with me forever, is how hostile space is. On the other side of that window is a vacuum, which basically you would have about 10 seconds of consciousness if you were out there, and then it's all over. And that's the environment that our Earth exists in, except for this very, very thin layer of atmosphere.
If only everyone could experience this view, maybe then we'd be less apt to pollute our atmosphere and work towards preserving our precious environment. And maybe, as a species, we'd be less destructive.
In some ways, we can see how the whole Earth is doing. And in some ways, because we're so far away, a couple hundred miles, there's places that look the same when actually something very significant happened there. So, for example, there was fighting and bombing in Libya when I was up there. And we didn't know until Monday morning that had happened on Sunday. And I thought, I just took pictures of Libya this weekend. And now I look at Libya, it looks the same to me, but everybody down there is having a different kind of day than they were 2 days ago.
Now, since it's unrealistic for everyone to travel into space, perhaps a more reasonable solution would be for our world leaders to experience the overview effect.
To get major world leaders into space would give them the sense of the reality that we live on a small, fragile planet in an infinite universe. And the astronauts tell us that when you realize that, the implications of it become profound. And you get the sense that we need to do everything we can to protect it and to learn how to live together on it.
The Overview Institute has described planet Earth as a natural spaceship, hurtling through the universe at a high rate of speed. So, in a real sense, all of us are astronauts. We just don't realize it.